Okay, One Piece episode 1147 sets the stage for one of the most monumental moments in the series' history. Adapted from chapters 1112 to 1114, this episode dives straight into the heart of Vegapunk's prophecy and the long-lost truth of the Void Century. As the Gorosei hunt down the Straw Hat crew across Egghead Island, chaos erupts worldwide when Vegapunk's final message begins broadcasting to every corner of the seas. From Syrup Village to Hakanosu, from Baltimore to Marine Headquarters, the world stops to listen as the genius scientist reveals his final confession. Two great sins that could rewrite everything humanity believes about its past. With Sanji clashing against the terrifying Ethan Baron Nashiro, Bonnie unleashing her awe-inspiring Giant of the Future form, and the Gorosei scrambling to silence the truth, the stage is set for a revelation that shakes the very foundations of the One Piece world. Oh yeah, so we can keep interacting and making the anime storytelling world even more fun together. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and drop your thoughts in the comments to keep the vibe going. Alright guys, let's jump straight into the discussion. Let's go. The story begins with the Gorosei relentlessly chasing the Straw Hat crew. In the final panel of the previous chapter, we saw Gorosei Saturn standing right in front of Nico Robin, Usopp, Nami, and Chopper. Meanwhile, in another scene, Ethan Baron V. Nashiro was already confronting Jewelry Bonnie, Frankie, and the Giants. At the same time, Gorosei Mars had infiltrated the Laba Phase area, seemingly aiming to seize or destroy the broadcast Den Den Mushi. But that was only the opening act, because the real focus of Chapter 1147 lies in the core material from Chapter 1113, titled Vegapunk's Prophecy, a revelation about the Void Century. The chapter opens with a stunning scene, a massive brain, Punk Records. Here, the Gorosei make their way inside, and Vegapunk's recorded message continues to play, questioning, what does death mean for something like this? As the transmission goes on, Gorosei Mars marvels at the enormous structure before him, asking if Vegapunk's consciousness is truly stored there. Then he spots a Den Den Mushi, assuming it's the one broadcasting Vegapunk's message to the world. With a smug grin, he stomps on it, thinking he's stopped the signal. So this broadcast will reach the entire world, he mutters, convinced he succeeded. But little does he know, Vegapunk's network runs deeper than he could ever imagine. The scene then transitions to other regions across the seas, showing breathtaking views, including Syrup Village, Usopp's hometown in East Blue. There, familiar faces appear, chatting with Kaya. We thought you'd have one of those transponder snails yourself, someone says curiously. Kaya smiles as the village kids ask about the size of a video transponder snail. They're much bigger than normal pets, she explains warmly while offering to make tea. One of the kids chimes in, you've heard of Dr. Vegapunk, right? He's a legend in medical science. Another laughs, yeah sure, what a liar. Their playful banter fills the cozy room, a calm contrast to the chaos about to unfold. Meanwhile, chaos truly does erupt elsewhere. The Marines are in total disarray as Vegapunk's message begins to transmit worldwide. Even at Twin Cape, near the Red Line, we see the giant whale Laboon and Crocus, the old doctor from the Oro Jackson crew, attentively listening to the broadcast. The scene is emotional, a wave of nostalgia and tension sweeping through the world as Vegapunk's final revelation begins to echo across every corner of the seas. This scene shifts to the futuristic island of Baltimore, Vegapunk's hometown. It turns out that Vegapunk was actually born here, and the people on the island are buzzing with excitement. One of them exclaims, wait, you mean he was really born here? Someone else proudly adds, of course, he's the pride of Baltimore. The whole town gathers around, eagerly watching Vegapunk's live broadcast with amazement. One person jokes, wasn't he the one responsible for the nightmare of Baltimore? Another quickly replies, no, that was Frankie. I heard he turned himself into a ship now. The townspeople laugh and continue chatting, fascinated by everything happening on screen. Elsewhere, in another part of the world, the scene cuts to the kingdom of Birdie in South Blue, the place where Chopper once studied. It's the same island where Tanakichi lives, and people there are also glued to their screens, watching Vegapunk's transmission. Isn't that incredible? Someone says. The man they call the king of modern science. His inventions may have changed the world, but they've also built deadly weapons. Despite the unease, everyone waits anxiously for what Vegapunk will reveal next. Across the seas, on the pirate island of Hakanosu in the New World, chaos brews as pirates crowd around to watch the same broadcast. Can you idiots be quiet? Vegapunk's about to continue his message, one of them shouts. Another retorts, "Why'd you hit me then? You think I'll just sit here so you can listen to some old fossil talk?" Tensions rise, but amidst the bickering, we see that Blackbeard and his crew are among them, silently observing, letting the pirates act as they please while keeping everything under their watchful eyes. The broadcast continues worldwide. Vegapunk's voice echoes. "Can you hear me?" he asks. The signal reaches Egghead Island, where chaos reigns. Explosions light up the battlefield. Fire spreads everywhere, and the war between the Marines and the Straw Hats grows fiercer by the second. Naval ships are already sinking, and the waters around the island burn red with flames. Yet despite the destruction, everyone is still focused on Vegapunk's voice, waiting for his next words. Testing, 1, 2, 3, Vegapunk says through the transponder snail. That simple phrase infuriates the Gorosei. Suddenly, the scene shifts. St. Mars crushes a snail under his foot, assuming it's the one broadcasting Vegapunk's message. But here comes the twist. That wasn't the real transponder snail. Vegapunk's transmission continues uninterrupted. Realizing this, Mars growls. "So this isn't your real hiding spot, huh? Trying to fool me with a decoy." Vegapunk, enraged, Mars transforms into his yokai form, a terrifying mythical beast, and smashes through the walls in fury. "Curse you, Vegapunk!" he roars before taking flight in search of the real broadcast source. Meanwhile, Vegapunk's message continues across the world. "Hello everyone, it's Stella," he says calmly. Sokka's voice responds, "We've reconnected the signal, Dr. Vegapunk." Stella smiles faintly. "I know, Sokka. Good work. Let's begin now." With a sip from his coffee, Vegapunk continues, his voice steady and composed. "Now listen carefully. What I'm about to say is important. All over the world, from islands, ships, and kingdoms, people gather to hear the words of the greatest scientist in history. The air is filled with anticipation as Vegapunk prepares to deliver his world-shaking declaration. All right, let's tune in, everyone. Reports are spreading all over, from Hakanosu, Twin Cap, Syrup Village, and even in distant corners of the world. Something huge is happening, and no one wants to miss it. Somewhere on a remote island, a mysterious figure sits by a campfire, quietly listening to the ongoing broadcast. "Go back to sleep, dear," a voice says, but the tension in the air makes it impossible. That person by the fire keeps the flames alive while focusing on the transmission from Egghead, where chaos is breaking loose. The Gorosei are in complete disarray, refusing to let things spiral out of control. Mars, one of the 5 elders, rushes across the battlefield, trying to shut down Vegapunk's message. Yet, the broadcast continues without pause. "Mars, what's taking you so long?" one of the elders demands. Mars replies sharply, "Forgive me, everyone. That damned Vegapunk fooled us all." The others react in shock. "He's more cunning than we thought," Mars admits, his voice filled with frustration. At this point, it's clear the transmission can't be stopped. Panic spreads among them. No one knows how much Vegapunk has revealed or what he's about to say next. York mentions that Vegapunk intends to carry on the legacy of the O'Hara scholars, and this revelation infuriates the elders. Vegapunk's determination to fulfill Professor Clover's unfinished dream rattles everyone, especially the Gorosei, Saint Warkiri, Saint Jupiter, Saint Ethan Baron V, Nashiro, and Saint Saturn, all glaring menacingly at the screen. This isn't a repeat of Clover's downfall. Vegapunk is aiming to finish what O'Hara began, and that makes things far more dangerous. Meanwhile, another panel shows a different scene. Vinsmoke Sanji dashing through the chaos with the injured body of the real Dr. Vegapunk Stella in his arms. The situation is critical, and Stella's condition looks dire. Sanji keeps running, speaking through the communicator in his ear. Suddenly, he hears a familiar, panicked voice, the sweet cry of a young girl. Following his instincts, or maybe his Kinbunchika Haki, he quickly senses who it is. It's Jewelry Bonnie. She's in trouble. Up ahead, Sanji spots a terrifying figure riding a beast, wielding a sword of absurd length. What kind of creature is that? Bonnie gasps. I won't allow you to control the Pacifista army, the figure declares. It's none other than Gorosei Ethanburn V. Nashiro himself, ready to strike her down. He refuses to let Bonnie influence or command the government's ultimate weapons. Step back, Bonnie, someone shouts, as Frankie rushes in to defend her. But before he can act, Sanji bursts forward. If anyone's going to save her, it'll be me. In an instant, Sanji ignites his Ifrit Jam, his legs blazing with blue fire as he blocks Nashiro's powerful sword swing. The clash is explosive, sparks flying everywhere. Just because you're old doesn't mean I'll go easy on you, geezer. Sanji taunts. Little does he know, the man before him isn't just any opponent. He's one of the 5 elders, the highest-ranking beings under Imu, with power beyond comprehension. Suddenly, Sanji is overpowered and sent flying backward by Nashiro's monstrous technique. The elder transforms into a beastly form, lunging forward and biting down hard on Sanji. The shockwave rattles the ground. Sanji! Bonnie screams, terrified. Just then, 2 massive silhouettes appear, the giants Kashiai and Oimo, rushing to Sanji's aid. They've realized their ally is in danger. Oimo, hold him down. Kashiai roars as they engage in a desperate struggle. While the battlefield erupts into chaos, Vegapunk's broadcast continues uninterrupted. Everything began long ago. His voice echoes. And I must confess, I've committed 2 great sins in my life. His words silence everyone, even amidst the fighting. The Straw Hat crew and their allies are locked in brutal combat against the Gorosei, while Bonnie's group struggles to fend off Nashiro's relentless attacks. Determined not to give up, the giants Oimo and Kashiai, loyal warriors from Elbaf who once served under Dori and Bragi, do everything they can to protect their friends. But then, out of nowhere, a new force emerges. A voice shouts, "Distorted future." The air twists violently. It's Jewelry Bonnie, activating her future transformation ability once again. And the battlefield is about to change in ways no one could have predicted. Everyone was stunned, completely blown away by the unbelievable transformation happening before their eyes. The young Marines on site couldn't believe what they were seeing. What the hell is that? Is that Jewelry Bonnie? One of them shouted. And sure enough, in the next few scenes, Bonnie appeared, leaping forward with a gigantic, almost monstrous size. She shouted with determination, "Give me that great future. This is the power of the giant of the future." With those words, she charged straight toward Gorosei Ethanbear Nashiro. Nashiro simply looked at her with calm eyes, but deep down, he seemed to know that defying such chaos might soon lead to his own execution. Meanwhile, Gorosei, Saturn, and the others, including Nashiro, were listening to Vegapunk's final message while preparing to confront Bonnie. Vegapunk's message was set to automatically broadcast the moment his heart stopped beating. The entire world was glued to his words. Even across the Sabati archipelago, people were tuning in, listening in shock and disbelief. Some couldn't accept it. Wait, is he serious? That means he's dead already. People murmured in confusion. Others were in total disbelief. Impossible. The newspaper just said he was captured by the Straw Hats. Across the Germa Kingdom, people were equally astonished as the broadcast continued. In the Germa lab, Judge clenched his fists, furious. A clone emperor doesn't accept this. Damn liar, Vegapunk. You can't just die on your own terms. We still had unfinished business. Though angry, there was also a hint of sorrow in his tone. After all, Vegapunk was both a rival and a fellow scientist he deeply respected. Back at the World Economy newspaper headquarters, Morgans was both panicked and thrilled. What in the world is happening? He's trying to kill my news empire with this broadcast, he shouted. Yet despite the chaos, no one dared to stop the transmission. Vegapunk's voice echoed again, calm yet heavy with meaning. Please don't consider those who killed me as evil, he said. Whoever they are, I don't wish to label anyone as right or wrong. His tone was filled with acceptance rather than anger, but the world listening could feel the tension rising. People everywhere froze, unsure how to react. At the same time, Gorosei Saturn had already arrived at the battlefield. Panic spread through everyone around. Stay back. Leave us alone, they shouted, trying to hold him off. Saturn's expression was grim. I'm not worthy to judge such matters, he muttered, though his rage was clear. His monstrous form pressed its legs deep into the clouds above the island, shaking everything around. Nami, Usopp, Brook, and Robin were right there when Saturn appeared. Move aside, he growled coldly. I have no time to deal with pests like you. The ground cracked beneath his steps, and a terrifying aura spread across the battlefield. Robin's eyes widened in horror. The sound of that voice, the presence, it all brought back memories from her tragic childhood. You one of the Gorosei? She whispered. Saturn sneered. So, you're Nico, Robin, the woman Akainu once let escape. Pathetic. His words cut deep, but Robin didn't back down. You'll regret underestimating me, she snapped. The tension soared as the scene reached its climax. Everything felt connected, as if this chapter was leading directly into episode 1147's explosive continuation. The scale of events was beyond imagination. Then came the final moments of the broadcast. At Navy headquarters, every officer stopped what they were doing to listen. Shock spread across their faces. Akainu himself stood frozen, watching the transmission in silence. Vegapunk's final words echoed across the world. You will soon witness the truth of the Void Century. And just like that, the message ended, marking not just the close of this chapter, but the beginning of something far greater in One Piece's history. Thank you so much for sticking with the story till the end. If you have any questions, feel free to write them down in the comments section below. Thanks again for watching, and see you in the next one.